Let's have a look at this 5-mark question on electrical circuits. Throughout the question, I'm going to use these two formulae. And just a tip, a lot of students get confused about how current and voltage are adjusted in series and parallel combination. How I used to remember it is current stays the same in series and then fill in the rest of the table. So voltage would be the opposite in series, so it would split up. Parallel current would be the opposite as it is in series, so it would split up. And voltage is the same in parallel. Okay, so the reading on the voltmeter, which is reading the voltage of this component, is 8 volts. And the resistance here is 60 ohms. Sorry, one thing I forgot to label is that there's 12 volts in the whole circuit overall. Now then, because we know voltage is split up in series, this tells us that the total voltage of 12 volts is split up against these two components in series. If this takes up 8 volts, then this has to take up 4 volts. Whenever you've got two variables and one missing variable, you can link it to an equation. Since we know the voltage and resistance across R2, we can find the current across R2. And that will give us the current across the whole circuit, because R2 is in series with the whole circuit. So current is voltage divided by resistance, which in this case is 4 divided by 60, which is 0.067 in your calculator. Great, now let's move on to part 2. Two ways you can do part 2. You can either use the idea that there's double the voltage flowing through R1 than there is through R2, which must mean that there's double the amount of resistance, because again, voltage is a measure of how much work has to be done, and if there's more voltage, more work has to be done, and this proportion. So if you double the voltage, you can double resistance, so that's 120 ohms. That'll be the answer here. Or the other way you can do it is you can use the fact that this much current also flows through here, and you can rearrange this formula to get that resistance is voltage divided by current. And we know the voltage across here is 8 volts, and we know the current across it is 0.067. 8 divided by 0.067 will also give you 120. Now the charge passing through the battery is the current passing through the battery, which again, like we mentioned, is the current passing through the whole circuit, which is in series, 0.067. Multiplied by time, which has to be in seconds actually, whereas here it's in minutes. So we know 1 minute is 60 seconds. 2 times 60 is 120 seconds. So we multiply by 120, which will get you around 8. And then the units for charge is coulombs. And just so you're aware, the units for voltage, of course, volts, for current it's amps, resistance ohms, time always in seconds in this question, current again in amps, and charges in coulombs. Hopefully that made sense, and if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.